I hate when I'm doing calls, videos, and calls come in. So right here is an okra that you can eat fresh off your tree. They're perfect in size. This came off of this tree. I just picked it. It's still blooming. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. These stink bugs, they're invading everything. Yeah, it's a stink bug, and it won't come off. I got a stink bug. Ooh, they're nasty. I got about 20 on this vine alone. 20 on this vine alone. And I got a whole bunch growing here. They're still producing. This is a very hardy type vegetable that loves heat. If you could get okra on your grounds, you could produce a lot of okra in a small amount of time in a small enough area. They love being up on hills. If you push them a little bit closer together, instead of being so apart, they could grow as tall as a tree. They don't need that much water, and that's awesome because sometimes a lot of people can't get enough water. Blue, get out of there, boy. I got some radish up in my thing. I couldn't remember what else I planted out there. And I'll just let you know, my property goes all the way to these trees, this whole entire tree line, all the way down past my RV, all the way to the end. You'll see a bunch of trees down there to the end of the road. And I go all the way to the oak tree. So I got 8 acres of land out here, and bamboo is basically what my main farming goal was, is to get this Japanese timber bamboo up on my land. And I'm really sad to say, even though the land has plenty of water, I'm even filling up extra water bottles for these bamboos. We got plenty of water out here from what I collected last. What y'all's doing? Damn animals. My animals are driving me crazy. The big bamboos are doing all right, but my small bamboos are suffering tonight. They're turning all brown on me, and I'm just thinking, like the sun fried them. They're not used to the Georgia heat. It's not that hot here. For me, I mean, the ones in the back is the ones I just got from the company. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, because it is green on green. I'm going to have to walk in. This is what I'm talking about. The leaves are all dried up. The stalk is pretty still healthy. But that's it. These are all drying up on me. I mean, they were green. I don't know what happened to them. They were really, really green. But now they're turning brown. These are the ones I got from Florida. Now, it doesn't matter what this is going. I wish they wouldn't be brown. It doesn't really matter, because what's going on underground is what the most important part is. Underground has the rhinozone, and the rhinozone is what produces more bamboo. Without the rhinozone, the bamboo is not going to produce. So the roots in the rhinozone is the most important part. They're not, beating up or anything. Maybe some woodpeckers try to get up on top of it, but they're not going to like this. But yeah, they're starting to turn a little bit of colors. Third person calling me when I'm doing a live. Here I have more bamboo. It's been planted. This is the one I got from Savannah. You can see it's way different than these. You can tell the difference here. They like got burnt up bad. But it doesn't matter how much water I've given them. They just burnt up. So, and I know I just had a pH testing done on my land, which I fell out of 6. So I was still able to continue to plant out here. Timber used to be out here. This whole land was full of 8 acres of pine trees. And the man who I bought the land from came in and clear cut the whole sucker and took all the pine trees out and left us with nothing. And, I bought the land with the trees on it. I didn't buy the land without the trees because I wanted to harvest my own pine trees and make that extra money for me to put money into the land. But that's the way it works. People like to be greedy. Come on, to the house. Showing the baby bad things. But, I mean, winter's coming soon. And we're probably going to have I don't know, maybe a pretty cold winter. The other night it dipped down to 55 degrees. I think it got pretty cool outside because my air conditioner wouldn't even kick on for me. I'm like, what's going on with the air conditioner? And when I came outside to check, make sure I still had light on, I'm like, ooh, it's cold outside. So yeah, temperature is definitely going to change real shortly. And as you can see, I'm the only one that lives on my road, up and down. I'm the only one out here, only one with electricity running to their land. This land has been defaulted on. The land on the corner has been defaulted. This whole land here is a wetland. He cannot sell it. That land right there has been defaulted on. The land at the corner has a for sale sign on it. And I basically own it all the way to the end of that street. There's a little chimney on the corner, and that's where I stop at. Get over here. Get out of the street. Come over here and check my mail. Nobody loves me. See where Roscoe stays? That's where you need to learn to stay. And eventually I like to get a gate put here. And I'm going to try to see if I could get me some big poles, like the utility poles out there. And make me a thing that says Green Steel USA LLC eventually. But my next project is going to be that tank being put into the ground on our homestead. We're not on electricity out there, so therefore the county can't tell me anything I can and cannot do with my land. I don't have a septic tank. I have a portable temporary holding tank just for raw sewage. Gray water is good for my plants on my land out here. Like, that's what keeps this so yellow, because I take my gray water, which is like shower water and your sink water and where you brush your teeth, and you dump it out here, and these plants love it. I mean, they're just thriving, and the birds love it. And the sewage goes into the yellow tank that's out there. The problem is, out here in Burke County, they had changed the ordinances. The ordinance used to say, if you live in an RV, you can hook up to full power and don't require running water or septic, because you could say you're using your land for hunting purposes. But since too many people live in RVs now and use and abuse the system, someone who's trying to do something legally and legit, they're giving me a hard time about. So Burke County basically told me, for me to connect that pole to that pole, I need to provide a water tank. And first, before I get the water, I need to put a 1,000-gallon septic system. Well, where am I going to put a 1,000-gallon septic system? Here I'm growing bamboo. Here is a shed that I put all my equipment in. Here's an area that I grow my fruits and vegetables for a hobby homestead. Over there, I would like to put me some animals in this one little section so they can eat this all down, and then work them over to another section, work them into this big section, and work all the way down to the end of my 8 acres. But the county wanted to give me a hard time and says, no, you have to have 1,000 gallons for septic before you could get your water, before you could get your electricity. Well, the septic company told me, well, ma'am, you don't have any water, so you have to get water first before you could get septic. $5,000 for the water tank, $5,000 for the septic tank, and I already invested $5,000 into this. It's too much for someone who's an evacuee, who has been displaced because not one hurricane, but 2 hurricanes within 2 years of each other. And I said, I'm never going to go back to Florida because I can't afford to be homeless, busted, and disgusted and lose all my stuff over and over again. So I decided to come to an area that is very, not in low line, high and dry, and away from flood zones. But I'm still getting kicking my behind. It doesn't matter what I try to do. They wanted to give me a harassment. So at first, originally, this was going to be the residential lot, and that was going to be the commercial farming, bamboo farming. But since the town gave me a hard time, I had to go forward and get this electricity hooked up. So this is what I had to do. To move my commercial farming bamboo from one address, transfer it over with my Georgia license, my LLC and everything, and put it on my secondary address. On my secondary address, which is the one that I'm using right now for the electricity. So I moved my house, everything. We were living right here, but we now moved it over there to my secondary address. Down there, 275 feet over to my secondary address, so I could set up my business where my residential address was and just go forward to get the electricity. The only way I was able to get the electricity was by putting a shed or a water well. He wasn't going to approve me for the RV. So I went out and invested in payments on a nice metal shed that already had electricity hooked up for $2,500 that I could have used for a well, but I couldn't do that. I had to have the shed here. So make a long story short, and just have to do what you have to do out here in homesteading. The peoples in the town will make your life miserable because you might have something a little bit more than they do, and they want to change the audiences and the rule books, and there is no... I hear the military, they're out there practicing again. We out here, we hear the military all the time. They're always above us, protecting us out here in the state of Georgia. And I think they come out from Fort Bragg in Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so back to Burke County. They finally got the shed, the electricity, got the pole, got all the guts that I needed for the pole, had a company come out here, get the pole ready, dig the trench, hook up the shed, finally get approved and passed, finally to get electricity. You know how long it took me? Since November 2018 to get all this done. They just make your life very miserable out here. You're trying to do something good. You're trying to bring money to Georgia. You're trying to bring money to the county you live in. And you're trying to bring money to a town that so desperately needs money because there's nothing out here for these people. And it's just ridiculous that the town is tying you up. And the man with the electrical permit is the one who's tying you up. No, Blue. But nighttime is coming. And I got a little horny dog that's just trying to be bad with my female. And she's spaded. I don't even know why he's trying with her. Come on, go, Zoe. Stop. 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 She's telling you no. She's going to bite you. Let's go. Come on, let's go. To the house. Last one home is a rotten egg. Come on, Roscoe. Roscoe. Pico. Let's go. Get it, boy. Get it, boy. Get it, boy. Get it, boy. Watch it, boy. Watch it. Get it, Roscoe. This is the dog we found. We found this dog. That's Blue. I call him Blue Moon because he was found on the full moon and he was pure gray. But he's a little derelict. Would you go already? He's a little derelict. I don't know what's wrong with him. Go. Go home. Go home, Blue. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why they left. He's a cute little dog, but he's a big handful. I'm just not. I wasn't expecting no baby, no puppy to come home on the day. Now look at that sunset. This is a beautiful sunset. Yellow, peach, pink, purple, and like a bluish color. That is an awesome sunset. You don't really catch it too awesome like that. And a lot of deers are coming out, and I've seen a lot of baby deers this year with their mommies, and I already seen a lot of deers already dead on the side of the road too. And I pray for all the deers that they all make it and that they do good and stuff. I don't know. I haven't been lucky to see any on my property. It's probably because they smell the dogs. But all the way down at the end of my property, down there, you can see at the end where it's laid down in certain spots. So I know they're out there. But it is what it is. Yeah, we're probably going to get a nice night show tonight. I'll leave food out for the birdies and stuff. All like natural stuff that I get off my land and seeds and I don't see the eagle. I have a brown eagle and an American eagle sometimes out here. Sometimes an owl. The owl, I've seen him sitting up there in this big tree. And a couple of weeks ago, there's this tree right here. The eagle was sitting on top of it. And I don't care. I love it. That means my land is blessed. I believe I have a little bit American Indian in me. My father always used to love to go to the American Indian tribes on all our vacations. He just had a connection with American tribes. I have kind of a connection out here. And look at that oak tree. They're sitting out there so perfectly. Look like a man watching right at me. You see like a little man's face there? That's awesome. Well, the birdies are in for the night. I don't hear any more flying around. Got my bug entrapment on. This bug entrapment does not attract flies, love bugs. It just collects moths. And all the birdies in the morning, they got a field day when I go over there and empty it, and they come out and they get all the free bugs they could get. I know it could be sad, but it is what it is. Everybody has to help out on the homestead. Well, I hope everybody has a good night. We'll see what we're going to get into tomorrow. Enjoy God's paradise. Good night from Green Steel USA LLC. Like and subscribe.